The treasures of the past are said to be gone because of rampant grave robbing. Yet, hopeful thieves still lurk around the ruins. As they should, because there's a lot of cool stuff down here. Welcome back, everyone, to part 11 of Steambot Chronicles, and we've just entered the Fenn Ruins, which I mentioned before is a completely optional area. You do not need to go here in order to finish the story. It's never mandatory to explore this place at any point. It's totally up to you if you want to visit, and I guess it would serve as the endurance test of Steambot Chronicles, at least one of the endurance tests, because there's a lot of enemies down here. There's a lot of baddies who all want to kick your ass, who all want to pick a fight with you, including Spiked Wall Man here. Rampart here wants to slowly run into you, but luckily we can just get behind him and whack him like it's nobody's business, so gotta be faster than that, Spiked Wall Man. That was kind of lame. And I found 8 Orochi. Nice. But, you know, our Tropmobiles only have so much to give. You know, we have 1 health bar, we have 1 fuel bar, and if we're not taking on enemies who drop fuel canisters, then we're not refueling ourselves. And that means eventually we'll go slow and we can't dodge certain enemies when we need to. And if you look in the top right corner of the screen, our weapons actually have degradation. Like, the ball and chain will fall apart after a while if I keep using it and using it and using it. The meter drains the more I use it on enemies, and when it drains all the way, I can't use it anymore. I have to rely on my arms in order to beat people up. Now, it doesn't mean that the ball and chain disappears completely. It's not like I lose it. No. This isn't Breath of the Wild, thank God. Great game. I just hate the degradation system in Breath of the Wild. I'm sorry, I don't like it. But it just means that you can't use it to its potential right now, and you'll have to go visit a repair shop in order to bring it back to normal. So you only have so many attacks you can actually do, even when you come up to a boss like this guy, the Bat Mech. And yes, this is a boss of the Fenn Ruins. I have to clear this guy in order to move on to the next floor. But luckily, I got reach. I got my ball and chain, so I can just hit them from a distance, and they can't do anything, so whatever. But it's at this point that, you know, they say, the boss has been defeated. Level 1 cleared. Do you want to explore another level? Sure, why not? I'll go to level 2. I'll go to the middle level. Oh, yeah. And this is when the rooms get a lot bigger and more enemies to face off with, and, you know, just gets a little more dangerous. But at least every time you go into a new floor, there is a repair guy right at the entrance who can replace your frames, who can refuel and repair your Tropmobile. And I decided to get the elephant grill off and replace it with some bright lights because, you know, it's pretty dark in these ruins. I want a little bit extra light. I want a little extra light. And I've replaced the cannon with a sword arm. That way I can just whack lots of enemies. The sword does not wear out as fast as the cannon does. The cannon only has like maybe 10 shots, 10 or 15 shots, something like that. And then that's it. You can't fire any more shots. But the sword, I can whack. And you can tell that it's not as strong as the ball and chain, just by the size of their meters. But, you know, at least it will last me a lot longer than the cannon arm. And that's all I care about. You can pull up the map with the select button, and I need to do that for this ruin because it's never the same when you play the game. Like, this is randomly generated. These floors are randomly generated. They are never going to be the same every time you come back to this place. So I never know where the doorways are going to be. I never know where the hallways are going to be. I don't know where the boss is going to be every time I boot this thing up. It's always different. You're expected to go through these ruins multiple times to get lots of treasures because you can't get all of the treasures in one go. Like, if you go into the ruins, you have to replay it until you eventually get that very rare treasure that maybe you didn't get on your first few tries. Because there's lots to find down here, and, you know. Just worth pointing out, it's randomly generated. And what I like to do is, I like to save the bosses for last. Like, I'll know which one's the boss because it's a lot bigger than the other ones. Well, maybe not Spiked Wall Man here. But it's usually bigger than all the other enemies. And if I go after that one way earlier than I should, then that means I'm missing out on a whole bunch of hallways and doorways that I didn't go through yet that have treasure chests, which might have diamonds, which might have royal scepters, which might have really fantastic trinkets that I can donate to the museum in Nephroburg, because yes, there's lots of museum donations in these ruins, and I definitely want to collect all of them. But, you know, that's why you save the boss for last. Otherwise, they make you go all the way back to the entrance if you want to go to a new floor, and I don't want to make this playthrough slower than it already is, you know? I want to speed this thing up. You save the boss for last. I don't want to do backtracking. I just want to get this over with, Not that I'm tired of the playthrough or anything. I love this playthrough. It's great. It would also be great if everyone else was watching it. But whatever. I can't control what people choose not to watch, you know. Moldy bread. By the way, there's lots of moldy bread, there's lots of spoiled meat in this place, and you do... Ooh, a diamond! Found a diamond. That's extremely rare. Very, very nice. But the spoiled meat, the moldy bread, you can actually eat those, but I would really, really, really... Velvet cape, nice. I would really, really, really recommend not eating them, because, believe it or not, your character will get constipated. I'm not kidding. If you decide to eat the moldy bread or the spoiled meat, then Vanilla will be constipated, and that means that food will no longer sustain him until you cure yourself. Now, some places like Happy Garland have a hospital that you can go to, but the other thing you want to do, and you can do it here at Fort Raven at the bazaar, because one of the shops actually has this, you can buy medicine that helps clear out his constipation. And it's like a status condition, you know? It's like being poisoned in any other RPG or something. It's not that it drains your health, just that it's always going to make you walk slowly. You're always going to be moving very, very slowly until you cure the constipation. And if you try eating healthy things while constipated, it won't matter. It won't satisfy your hunger. It won't satisfy your hunger meter because you're always going to be slow anyway, and it just affects nothing. So... yeah, you can get constipated if you eat old food. And sometimes, if you have food that you bought a long, long time ago, and you wait and wait and wait to eat it, that food will get old, and it might turn moldy. It might spoil. It might be something you can't eat anymore. Ooh, a medieval crown. I like the treasures I'm finding. I like the treasures I'm finding. But you can find lots of stuff that's... you know, can grow old and you don't want to eat it. So always check. Make sure you're paying attention to the food you eat, because you don't want to eat something old and rotten that will make you constipated. That's never fun, never fun, never fun at all. Ugh. But it is the most common item you're going to find in these dungeons, to the point where I think you can hold maybe 20. You can hold like 20 of every single item. So I will eventually get like 20 moldy breads. And then, when I try opening a chest with another moldy bread in it, it actually won't open. It'll tell me that moldy bread's in the chest, but it will say that, like, you have too many in your inventory, you can't pick it up. Like, I could have 20 of every single piece of food in this game, and there's a lot of food in this game. But, you can't have 21 bread, you know? It's like that video game logic where they just have their own specific pockets for very specific items. Oh, this is the bread pocket. This is the cheese pocket. This is the orange pocket. This is the donut pocket. This is the... whatever you can think of that can hold 20 of something. Oh, this is the 20 watermelons pocket. Like, Vanilla has a very interesting tote bag. He's got a very interesting carrying system here, because he can just carry everything as long as it's in group of 20s. As long as it's in group of 20s. I would recommend picking up enemies often because it doesn't drain your ball and chain or your sword to pick things up. And, you know, not only does it make them stagger and stumble when they're trying to get up, and so it gives you lots of time to beat on them, but, you know, it does a decent amount of damage. When I pick this guy up, I can just throw him at a wall, and then, pooh, that's like half of his health bar gone, just like that. If not all of his health bar, depending on the enemy. So, you know. Picking up things with the L3, R3 buttons is very, very helpful. Don't forget about grabbing your enemies. Speaking of enemies who grab, this is the Scarab, and you gotta dash out of the way of this guy. And it's kind of hard because the boxed-in rooms make that the camera gets in real tight and close. So sometimes close-quarters combat can be kind of annoying in Steambot Chronicles. But, oh god, he picked me up. Oh jeez, ah! He will grab you, and he will throw you into walls, and that is very painful. It drains a lot of your health. It drains your health so quickly, so you gotta be careful with that Scarab. Always dash to the side whenever he's locked onto you, and he's just kind of staying in place and getting ready to charge, because you don't want to run into that. No, 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 no. And some enemies are, like, bigger that you can't pick them up. Like, obviously, Spiked Wall Man, the Ramparts, is a little too big. You can't lift that with your arms. And the bosses especially, you can't lift those with your arms. It always warns you. It always gives you like this little red circle in front of your Tropmobile when you can lift things. But, you know, most of the time, there's no red circle, and that means you can't lift stuff, so get the hell out of here, because you're not picking that thing up. You're not picking that thing up. Oh, God. In many ways, this dungeon reminds me of the Nakai Ruins from The Misadventures of Tron Bonne, which was like this open, big place where you had to destroy certain cracked walls, and there were treasure chests everywhere with all kinds of loot for Tron to find, and you could go into it over and over and over and over again in order to get maximum money. Like, the whole point of Tron Bonne is to get like 10 million zenny, and like, you can actually get that quite easily just from doing that one level over and over and over again. And the money respawns, so it's not like you can't do it over and over again, so, you know. Very similar concepts, just this one's a little more randomly generated. The dungeon in Tron Bonne was not random at all. It was predetermined. It always had one set map that anyone could follow. This one, no, the map is always different. So I gotta keep pushing the select button to check where I am at all times and see where I need to be, and did I miss a doorway? Did I miss something that I should check out? I don't know. Should I take on the boss yet? Let's see. Look. I see 2 pathways leading to nothing. That means I have to check out those 2 pathways and see what's down there. See what's down there. Fenn Ruins is not the only place like this. There are 2 other dungeons of this type. And I feel like my commentary will get kind of old doing commentary for those places as well. So if you want to supply me with questions for this video, write your questions down in the comments section, and I will answer them when we get to the 2nd and 3rd dungeons. And it'll be a nice Q&A session, eh? Because they're all bound to be like 15, 20 minutes like this video is, and, you know, how many times can I say, it's randomly generated, your parts break off, be careful. You know. Plus, I want to reward the people who are actually watching this playthrough. Thank you. For a guy who has 132,000 subscribers, I sure have nobody watching this playthrough. Not that I mind. I'm still proud of the playthrough. I'm still proud of all the effort and work I'm putting into this thing. It's just, you know. Hey, if you want Let's Plays to go away, that's their business. Whatever. That's fine. But yeah. Level 3 has a different boss compared to the level 2 boss, and I gotta be really careful because my ball and chain is almost worn out, my health is dangerously low, that smoke is coming out of my Tropmobile. And once I get killed, you know, that's it. You know, I go back to the main menu, I do not get to retry option, none at all. It's like Final Fantasy X, where, like, you die, you get kicked back to the main menu, so I hope you save often. I hope you're always saving your progress, because you don't want to get hours of gameplay into the Fenn Ruins, and then you die, and then it's just like, oh. I lost all that progress. Ah. So save often, know when to take your breaks, and here we are, the Totem Recall. This is the boss of the Fenn Ruins. I love these stupid pun names, because again, you can tell the localizers are having a lot of fun. The Garland Globetrotters, Totem Recall. It reminds me of some of the dumb, cringy, like, quest names in Final Fantasy XIV, which I am playing still right now. Don't worry, that video's coming soon. It'll come after Steambot, but you know. Totem Recall is a totem, and there's 3 different sides to this guy, and I can only attack the back of it, not the front of it. And, you know, everything's fun in games until I break my weapons, because now I can't use my ball and chain. I don't have any more range. And because I have no range, that means I have to get in and attack this thing, even though it's got this spiked club circling around. So I gotta dash in, whack, dash out. Dash in. Whack. Oh no. Oh, it moves faster and faster the more you hit it. Oh god, my health is so low. This is kind of tense. This is kind of... Okay, this is tricky. I gotta be careful. Dash. There we go. It can be done. It can be done. As long as you have the... Oh. As long as you have the dash, this can be done. I can beat this guy. I'm not losing my health. Not losing my health. Booyah! Get fucked. Get fucked, buddy. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So that is the final level of the Fenn Ruins. That is it. But again, I didn't find all the treasures. I didn't actually find all of them. So what I'm expected to do now, if I want to find all of them, is I go back. Whether I go back to level 1, level 2, level 3, doesn't really matter. At least there's a repair guy at the entrance of every single level, thank God, because I need repairs, good lord. Help me. I don't know why you're here, but help me. 101? Oh, that's nothing compared to all the Orochi I keep picking up from these enemies here. And just like that, I can use my ball and chain again. It's not permanently gone. My health is back to normal. And now I can take on Dig Dog. I didn't point out that name, Dig Dog. And, yeah. I'm not going to be showing all of my spelunking, because I don't think you'd want to watch that. I did try to get as many treasures as I could, including the 4 special jewels, like diamonds, aquamarines, amethysts, things like that. There are 4 in every dungeon that are very unique, very special, and you need all 12 in order to face off with a special boss fight that I will show off later in the game. But I don't want you guys to watch that because it would be pretty boring. So, you know, I'm just showing you that I kept playing the game off screen. I kept playing the game behind the scenes so I could find things like an aquamarine. Oh yeah, oh yeah. In the not too distant future. I did a lot of spelunking, and then I finally left, and I was ready to be done and move on and go to the Sabia Desert, and I was like, yeah. But first, I wanted to stop by this shopkeep because he's got a book I don't own yet, which is Starting Your Own Business. That might be useful. And red lipstick, because you know what? That might be a good gift to give to Connie later. You know, something that might be good for her, whatever. And I gotta prepare before I go out into the desert because I can't drive around in the sand on wheels. No, no. If you're crossing the desert, I'd recommend the spider legs and the parasol windshield. Spider legs and parasol windshield, eh? Look at this. They do have spider legs, which are 500 Orochi, but luckily I made a lot of cash when I was in the ruins, so no, don't need to worry about that. Caterpillars, which can carry heavy loads, and they're basically tank treads. So you can have tank treads with your Tropmobile. A claw arm, so instead of having a sword, this is a claw, and it's much stronger than the sword, so I'm gonna buy that. And hell yeah. Gonna pick up the parasol, since the guy recommended it, and another roof windshield. And now I'm back down to 1333 Orochi, but whatever. I'm fine. I'm gonna be making lots of cash in other places anyway. Snicked! You wanna try me, bub? Alrighty. And gotta get that parasol on there. Even though it makes my Tropmobile look incredibly goofy, incredibly lame. Although there was something I forgot, because I can't actually go on the quest until I change the license plate to the merchant's plate. That's the only way I can escort the people through the desert. Otherwise, they won't let me go. So I had to go back and change the license plate. But yeah, folks, look at my spider bot. My spider machine. Hell yeah. With a big stupid umbrella. I was hoping when you jumped that the parasol would actually make like your descent a lot slower. Like you could kind of like, I don't know, a little bit glide through the air and slowly make your way down to the ground. That would have been great. But unfortunately, that's not how it works. Either way, I like walking around with spider legs because it makes me feel like a villain. It makes me feel like I'm tramping through town in some kind of mecha monster that I'm gonna conquer the place with, you know? I don't know. It's good you can be a villain in Steambot Chronicles because there's lots of Tropmobiles that make you feel like a villain too. It's something else, it's something else. But again, send your questions, write them in the comments of this video, and when we get to the second dungeon, 8, 9 parts from now, it won't be right away, 8, 9 parts from now, I will answer those questions, and it'll be glorious, and you'll have lots of fun hearing me gush about whatever. You want me to talk about Sonic? You want me to talk about real life stuff? Send your questions, whatever. Yeah, I'll see you guys in part 12. You don't want to miss this. Part 12's pretty good.